Hello. Just one moment. Who's the prosecutor on this? Who's the prosecutor on Porter? It's a PSI?
For fraud division.
Okay. It's a PSI.
Thanks, Judge.
And those are the reports. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 008-136 State versus Eduardo Porter III. Can I have parties to announce for the record for the state?
Jerry Kagan on behalf of Eduardo Porter.
And are you Mr. Porter?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and the top evaluation state?
Yes, I'm currently still through it, but I mean, we can proceed.
All right.
I've reviewed it with Mr. Porter, Judge.
Any objections?
No.
Not at this moment, Judge.
All right. According to the plea bargain agreement, the defendant entered a plea of no contest to count 1 and count 2. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Count 3 was waived without objection. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 7 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state is silent on your application, and there is to be restitution, if any, and no contact with the complainant. All right. Defense, do you have any evidence to submit?
No evidence, Judge, just argument based off the PSI.
All right, the court will hear argument.
Well, Judge, I wanted to draw the court's attention to page 7 of the PSI where they ask him if he gets granted the probation, how would this improve his life? And his response is, the Center for Healthcare Services has helped me a lot. I am more laid back and chilled. The injection is a mood stabilizer, referring to Abilify. As part of his conditions with pretrial services, he was required to participate with the Center for Healthcare Services. He's been on bond, I want to say, about a year and a half, and he hasn't picked up any violations, hasn't picked up any positive UAs, and apparently Center for Healthcare Services is helping him a lot. With respect to the TAP evaluation, I see that there's no major drug problem, well, no drug problem at all, almost no drug history. And with respect to priors, he's never been in prison, never been in jail. He's had a couple of cases that have all been dismissed. And I was going to mention something else about the drug history, but I can't remember. That being said, since it is a silent offer, we'd ask the court to go ahead and grant his application for deferred. I see here that they're recommending he continue working with the Center for Healthcare Services, anger management, aggressive driving, field visits, and UAs for the first 60 days, once a week, I believe. So we would ask the court to go ahead and grant his application for deferred.
All right, so here's the court's question, and maybe, counsel, you can help me, or maybe your client can help me with this question. This is, maybe it's a road rage, maybe it's not, but what I see here is that the complainant, in the stipulations, it says, complainant explained that he was driving his white Ram truck and was exiting the highway. He said that he did not see traffic approaching his direction and did not yell when he exited. Complainant told me that he heard a vehicle honking behind him. Complainant described that he took a left turn onto Avenue E, and the defendant followed him. Complainant stated that he was traveling southbound, and the defendant drove his respective vehicle to the right of him. Complainant described that both vehicles, and the defendant was apparently upset at him. Complainant told me that the defendant was upset and cussing at him for not yielding or using turn signal when he exited the highway. Complainant said that throughout the argument, they were both upset and cussing at each other. Complainant explained that defendant drove forward, cut him off, and stopped in front of his truck. Complainant said that he got out of his truck and told the defendant to move his car. Complainant described that he was on the driver's side of the defendant's vehicle and was arguing with him because he blocked him in. Complainant told me that the defendant retrieved a gun from his glove compartment. Complainant explained that the gun was in the defendant's right hand at that time. He said he did not point it at him, but the complainant got back inside of his truck and attempted to leave, but then he cut him off again. Complainant explained that they were zigging and zagging on the street, and complainant was able to go around the defendant. And the complainant said that as he passed the defendant, he heard a shot and there was a bullet hole. The officers find a bullet hole in the right rear passenger side of the complainant's truck. So I don't understand why I should grant him deferred. This is somebody, I know you're saying that there may be mental health issues, but I don't understand how a failure to yield results in shots being fired.
And of course, Judge, we have the complaining witnesses version. Mr. Porter's version is a little bit different, but even if we go with the complaining witnesses version, the court pointed out there's a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of opportunities for both sides to just chill, drive a different direction, let the other person in. So I
But the
think,
complainant said he was blocking him in.
well, I'll ask Mr. Porter to be sworn in so we can
All
give
right,
his
you want to raise
version.
your right hand? Do solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Porter the third.
All right, you may proceed.
When you came into my office, do you recall coming into my office to discuss this case?
Yes,
And could you explain to the court what you explained to me about the driving pattern?
I was, I drove around him to go ahead because I was against traffic, in the lane against traffic, so I was trying to go around and go straight. But he also accelerated too, so that's when I started thinking he's gonna hit my car. So I braked him, so him trying to go around me. And I started getting scared for my life because I'm in a small Mitsubishi Mirage and he's in a big, Ram 1500, so I thought he was gonna run me off the road.
So to summarize, you were concerned that he was going to collide with your vehicle.
Yes,
That's the witness.
All right,
State silent, Your Honor.
all right. So where does it come in, the fact that you pull a gun on him?
I was just, scared and I just didn't know what was happening, but when I already had the gun, I told him, "Look, sir, please get away from me," when we were arguing through my window, and I just kept telling him to get away from me, it's gonna go. And then when I did fire the shot, I immediately called 911, let him know what had happened.
No, no, no. When you say you fired the shot, did you fire the shot when he was in his vehicle driving away?
Yes,
All right. All right, any other questions?
Nothing further from me, Judge.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. In counts 1 and counts 2, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison in each count. The court will give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon in each count. There's to be no contact with Brandon Taylor or Jennifer Hollins, and there's to be restitution, if any, to Brandon Taylor. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did
Yes.
you understand it and sign it?
this one.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? And I'll ask for the therapeutic community as well. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. I understand. I mean, and the complainant admits that he didn't yell. In San Antonio, for some reason, people don't know what the yell sign means. But there's no way that this ever should have turned in you pulling out a gun. But I realized tempers were high. He's cursing at you. You're cursing at him. But you should have just let it go. And guess what? If you feel that somebody is not following the rules of the road and they're being a danger, pick up the phone, call the police. You don't go trail behind them. You understand? All right, good luck to you.